And welcome to another episode of the Philly BroCast. I'm your host, Ryan.
And I'm Ryan. What's up, bro?
What's up, bro Kano?
How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Doing pretty well.
Well, I am doing fantastic because today is the day that football officially starts.
Yeah.
Players reported to camp today. We're going to have our first official practice tomorrow, I believe at 10 a.m. Sirianni is going to talk at noon after the first little practice there. I'm excited. I know you're excited. This is something we've all been waiting for. Now we can finally get to camp and see what we have in this team.
Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to see the Slim Reaper. Somebody go out there and, really make a difference in his first year. We haven't had somebody offensively do that in, a little bit. So, especially in the wide receiver position.
It's been a while.
I mean, you could argue that Miles Sanders, showed us his stuff, but, I'm excited. First round draft pick, it's always good to see and see how the offensive line looks, especially Brandon Brooks, somebody coming off a really important injury.
Yeah.
So, and then our secondary, obviously something that everybody's been talking about, and now we have an addition, a most likely CB2. So,
Yeah, I had posed the question earlier, but the new look secondary that the Eagles have now that Steven Nelson has been signed last year with the Pittsburgh Steelers. You bring in him, you bring in Anthony Harris, you have Rodney McLeod again coming off of yet another injury. Obviously, you have Darius Slay. So there obviously are still some concerns with McLeod. Hopefully he might be, available week one, but we don't know. It's still too early to kind of tell. So, you know, I'm a little concerned about that, but think about what we had last year. I'm already happy that we're much better secondary.
yeah, absolutely. And Rodney McLeod is a guy that I've been rooting for years. I know he's got the talent. I know he's got the drive, but staying healthy has always been an issue for him. So hopefully we can see him for a full year. Um, and yeah, the new additions and hopefully even Slay with just the 1 year that he's been here, just having that buy-in mentality,
Yeah,
kind of like when Bryce Harper got here and putting the Philly fanatic on his cleats. That's
right.
the type of stuff that as Philly fans we want to see. We want to see you buy in, and
We
yeah,
embrace that.
you have to embrace it
Well,
because
and
Willie,
think about his first 6 games, he was pretty lights out. I think when McLeod went down, that's when we certainly saw some flaws in Slay's game, whether that was because he was trying to, kind of cover, whether that was, schematically with Schwartz, and the fact that maybe, he wasn't kind of used to playing that much with his back to the ball. So, you're hoping a scheme change, coaching change, excuse me, and some health and having Nelson on the other side kind of alleviates Slay from having to cover up anybody else and focus on what Slay does, and that's be a shutdown corner. So you're hoping by just a few of those things alone, Slay is improved and can play more like the first 6 games rather than the last 10.
yeah, of course. And like you said, with McLeod going down, that kind of raises a flag up, and it kind of makes him and in Slay think to himself, I got to step up, I got to do something different, I got
Right. Yeah.
right now for this secondary that's weak, and that's probably what we saw. A lot of you know mental mistakes that were made simply because he was put in a position that he really shouldn't have been in.
Right.
And this is that year. This is that time to kind of let it all out because the expectations are so low. Um, I mean, honestly,
Yeah, well, they are really low, and
a
for
lot of these,
anybody,
I honestly think that a lot of these guys can play their best simply because there's not that much pressure on them right
Yeah.
now.
Well, I mean, that certainly is a thought because, you know, if anybody who follows, the Philly Sports Alliance, which, if beginning of the show, you kind of saw the show lineup, Philly BroCast right smack dab in the middle there. Um, I posted something regarding the USA Today predictions, and it had the Eagles at 3-14, 3 wins, tied for second worst in the entire NFL. I think it was Detroit, maybe we were tied with, but Houston, obviously, the worst team considering everything that they're going through. But and we'll get into Houston in just a smidge. But having that and reading plenty of other people that are just not expecting you to do anything, and Vegas has them at 6.5 wins, and there's a lot of uncertainties. There's a lot of injury history. There's a lot of youth that may or may not be, relied upon to play significant minutes, and not that doesn't always tend to bode well. But so yeah, you might have hit the nail, right on the head there. That no one's giving us a chance. Let's take kind of that underdog mentality once again and just ball out, see what we got.
Yeah,
It surprised some people.
exactly. I feel like there's a almost nothing to lose kind of mentality in that locker room. There are obviously jobs on the line and
Right.
reputations and everything like that. I don't discredit or discount that.
Right.
But when you come into the league and you come into this season and you have really high expectations, you almost feel so you have to play to that. So the lower the expectations, I would imagine a little bit more laxed in nerves and anxiety, if you will.
Yeah.
But these guys can go out, they can play, and a lot of them have a lot to prove. So that's huge going into the season. And like I said, they want to keep their job. They want to possibly play for another team.
Sure. Yeah.
They want to get paid. So all of these factors coming in, I mean, from a psychological standpoint, you free up that worry or angst or anything like that. That allows you to kind of play at a higher level. I personally believe that. So I think that going into it, you will see a lot more of the raw talent. I believe the things the intangibles that everyone talks about, the things that you can't teach. You'll see that in this team. And of course, there's going to be mistakes and losses that should have been wins and stuff like that. But I honestly think that the losses that should be wins would be towards that 6.5 mark, not the 3. I believe that, just in the nature of playing in the NFC East, you would get 3 alone.
Yeah. I mean, regardless of however bad people assume any team in the NFC East is, it's very rare when they get shut out from a division win, go 0-6. So that fact alone, you have to factor in at least, win. The fact of the matter is that there's no real clear separation between the top of the division and the bottom, where I am rather certain that you can make a case for every single team in the NFC East right now that they could win the division. Even the Eagles, as bad as everyone's predicting for them, even the Eagles, I feel like, could potentially win that division if A, B, and C.
Yeah.
So I'm not, again, I'm not necessarily putting a lot of stock into it. In fact, that was the whole reason for the post, is that it, there is no stock to put into it. But so again, like you said, low expectations maybe might lead to greater things. But so I did want to bring up before we kind of, again, get sucked into a few of the other points that we want to make tonight. I wanted to talk about some position battles. I always love to pinpoint, 2, 3, maybe, maybe more depending on the situation, position battles that you may be looking forward to. Give me one right off the top of the bat. Number one, what position battle are you looking forward to?
Left tackle.
Yeah. Okay. No brainer there. All right. I'm glad.
Just
You
start
said
right off the bat with it. Just wanted to get that off because we can dive deeper. But I think everybody's kind of looking at the left side. That's one of the most important positions in the game of football. Arguably behind quarterback.
Yeah.
I think behind quarterback, the left tackle is the most important position in football.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we've all seen The Blind Side.
Actually, haven't. I don't really. I know the true story, so I didn't watch the movie.
Whoa. Are you serious?
Oh, I'm dead serious. I've never seen The Blind Side.
Oh, dude, you have to at least watch the movie. I mean, yeah, I read his autobiography. I know the story as well, but it's still a very entertaining movie.
I'm sure. Sure, it's excellent.
Do you hate life? Do
I hate life?
You hate sports movies?
Hate life?
Yeah, I mean, it's a feel-good movie.
I love movies. I mean, you know that you and I will talk about movies all day.
I know. That's why I'm shocked to hear this.
I consider myself quite a cinema nerd, but I will not just go out of my way to watch some movie because Sandra Bullock's in it and she used to be good in the 90s.
Whoa! Wow! Now you're ragging on Sandra Bullock?
I said
Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are?
I gave her the credit. She used to be great.
I don't know if I want to talk to you anymore tonight.
Because I didn't watch The Blind Side. Come on.
Well, not only that, but you're shitting on Sandy Bullock.
Don't call her Sandy. She doesn't like that.
She don't like you. That's for darn sure. I can't believe you said that. But anyway, I digress. We're going down the rabbit hole here.
I'm one of the few people that watch Speed 2, so she would like that.
Yeah, you're one of like 4.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, yes, left tackle. I cannot wait. Dillard versus Mailata. I assume that Mailata has the edge right now. But, again, first round pick versus 7th round pick.
Experience versus inexperience.
I agree, but not that much experience. And considering that Mailata has only been playing football for about 3 seconds, where Dillard has been playing football for most of his life, overall experience.
Football has Dillard played?
I mean, yes, I'm just saying, I'm playing devil's advocate here.
Same.
He has not played much, but he has played in the NFL. So either way, I think that's a great storyline. What I'm looking forward to is the who's going to come out on top, or where, I guess I'll say, where the wide receivers shake out, and who's kind of where, who's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'm really kind of excited to see who that 5 and 6, if we keep 6, who that tail end of the wide receiver room will be. Will they give J.J. Arcega-Whiteside another shot? Or will he do it enough to actually prove that he deserves that shot? Will it come down to Watkins versus Hightower for that last spot? Potential. Is there a move or someone that, we're not even aware of that could potentially come in and fight for that spot? So, I had heard that there's a rumor that Josh Doxson was getting looked at to come into camp, former Redskin. Yeah.
Football team player.
Well, technically he never played for the football team.
I got you.
So, yes, I'm excited about the wide receiver room. I'm very curious as to who's going to be the backup safety. Again, because if McLeod is not able to go week 1, that person is going to need to step in and potentially play a couple weeks. And then finally, I want to see what the linebacker rotation is.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, obviously that had to come, and I think we're going to be pleasantly surprised with Eric Wilson. I think this kid, didn't really find his footing up until last year. Finally got a chance to play, really stepped up, very productive, and I think him and Singleton could be a halfway decent 1-2 punch that we didn't really expect or see coming.
Well, I mean, I agree. We would definitely say that we saw a little bit, a sample size of Singleton, just because of his performance. And
well, sure, yeah,
but
yeah,
and I agree. I think that they would be a nice duo and something that would be an excellent surprise to have happen during this year is some great linebacker play. So many times you saw the opposing running back squeeze through the defensive line and just kind of break free because there was no one there, no one home to tackle him in that right. That linebacker position. So that would be huge. And also, we need that. I mean, Singleton really stepped up last year in showing that he can cover. And I love seeing that. One of my favorite things is linebackers that can cover all over the field. And, you're stuck on the tight end or you're stuck on the running back coming out of the flat and you're on them like glue. And that's my favorite things to see. So if we can have somebody like that and also have somebody, stay home to maybe QB spy if that was the,
right.
The thought at that time. It would be awesome. That gives the secondary a little bit more time and a little bit more stuff. We're going into basic football right here. What we're at right now. We are boiling everything down to basic football fundamentals simply because of what we just experienced.
Right. Yeah. No doubt. You're absolutely right. So a lot to think about. As we said, training camp officially starts tomorrow for practice. So obviously now we finally have football. Before we know it, the first preseason game is right around the corner. The first Eagles practice is on the 8th of August. I know yours truly will be down there. I know the Bald Eagle will be down there. Of the Bald Eagle podcast every Wednesday at 6:00 p.m. And
Standard time.
Yeah, Eastern Standard Time. I'm pretty sure Eric, co-host of the Football Smack Talk show, is probably going to be down there. I don't know about you, Rye.
I'll be at the Phillies game that day.
There you go. You'll be close by.
Yeah.
And we'll have to meet up at Xfinity Live.
That'll happen.
So I'm excited. It's right around the corner when we get to see some real live action. And if anybody follows anybody on Twitter, there's constant updates and little snippet videos of Devontae Smith got a one-hander from Jalen Hurts. It was 700-yard pass. It was amazing. He cut it behind his back while closing his eyes.
Yeah.
I can't wait for those updates. Even as ridiculous as they are, I cannot wait for them. So we made it.
Exactly.
We made it. That's all that matters. So.
Instead of their regular helmets, they put on the helmet from Star Wars when Luke Skywalker was training with the probe droid.
Yes.
That's exactly the helmet that they started to use just for him and these highlights. So I'm pumped for that. You have to use the Force. You have to feel it.
All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Enough nerd stuff. All right. I do want to switch it over to the Flyers. The Flyers, I don't know what other word for it, but they freaking took a cannonball from the top diving board and just made such a big splash over the last week or two. They have done more in that time period than I think I've seen the Flyers do in years.
I believe they made more moves and transactions than even the Kraken.
Yeah, and they freaking obviously had their expansion draft, which by the way, uh, didn't take anybody we all thought. So we had to trade um, Voracek. We traded Ghost. The defense is really starting to come together. I don't know. I'm starting to like the new look defense, and I think there's a lot of veteran presence here that obviously, kind of coincides with the fact that there needed to be a little bit of a change in that locker room and that locker room presence.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. That was a necessary change, and Flyers organization stepped up to realize that, we can't be homers. We can't be, loyal to guys that have just been on this team. Obviously, loyalty is a great attribute, but
Sure.
you can't just be that team that keeps guys just because they've been here for a while or they're fan favorites or anything like that. Obviously, Voracek is one of the biggest fan favorites on the Flyers over the past 7 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
And bringing in somebody like Cam Atkinson, and just having changed there.
Ellis, Ristolainen. I mean, those guys are all.
Am I mistaken? What happened with Yandel?
Yeah, we just signed Yandel to a $900,000 deal. Again, somebody who's been a captain in this league. I don't know if he ever got full captain, but he was definitely an assistant captain.
I hated.
I know. He was with Phoenix for forever.
Hated Flyers opponent. I mean, he was a guy that it's not the level in which if we got, somebody from the Capitals or the Penguins,
Pittsburgh, yeah.
But it is.
He was
close to that level, and obviously, it's a good addition for what you just said. Exactly, it's a presence. It's a voice in that locker room that is necessary, and the experience from Yandel is just incredible. So I actually like it. I know a lot of people don't, just because his stats haven't been.
Well, he's up. He's getting up there. He's an older defenseman. Like, you're not going to expect much. The fact of the matter is, you were able to sign him for under $1 million. You're really just bringing him in there for again another veteran presence who's used to AV. So there's familiarity there. And listen, he'll be kind of a back end, defenseman guy. This is more or less, just in case if some of the young defensemen don't, make the squad, or they choose not to have them make the squad, i.e., a Cam York. But they have a solid 6 defensemen right now. It's really just a matter of kind of figuring out, maybe if they can improve it, or maybe they can add some depth to try and kind of strengthen the team in any which way they can. And obviously the defense just wasn't working last year, and that trickled down to their young goaltender in Carter Hart.
Yeah, Carter Hart definitely felt the lack of defense. I mean, it was embarrassing to watch at times. 3-on-1s, 3-on-nones. I mean, just awful play, and that really comes from a lack of leadership and a lack of veteran presence. Even though you have, like I said, like we both just talked about, you have offensive players that have been on this team for 10 years, 7 years. I mean, but that's not going to translate across the entire locker room.
Right.
Our locker room needs to hear from a few guys who are on both sides of the puck and understand where everybody's at. And they've all been young. They've all been in the position of where a lot of our team really is. And they're ready to teach, because not only are they, again, we talked about this with football, not only are they looking for a paycheck, but there's a future for even these veterans.
Sure.
So you imagine that they need to step up and be rumored at least to be great leaders in the locker room. So
yeah, right.
That's vastly important.
Right. And again, I think, this isn't necessarily a knock on Giroux, but it feels like he's getting a lot of hate lately, partly because of this whole thing. But, do people not forget the legendary captains that we've had on this squad that have not won a cup? Pronger, Primo, Lindros, Forsberg. I could go on. Those are all great players in this league that never won a cup for the Philadelphia Flyers as captain.
Each of those are arguably Hall of Famers.
Right. So I'm not sure why everyone all of a sudden is now jumping on Giroux for this. It's an organizational failure, not a lack of leadership in the captain spot. Giroux, while may not be the flashiest player, is one of the best players in the league throughout his career.
I can agree with you simply because of stats. Like, his stats will prove
right.
Everything that you're saying is correct. But we are not in that locker room. We do
not.
No,
you're right. You're 100% right.
We do not know what is being said, what is being coached, because there's coaches, but these guys
players not playing.
Coach. The players are not being paid to coach; they're being paid to play.
Right.
So when you step up and coach and take leadership, that's a huge thing. And we haven't that much about Giroux being the leader that we would expect somebody like that to be.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. That's the big issue with everybody, because he wears the C because he has skill, because he's talented, because he's been on the team for so long. But does he wear the C because he's a leader? That's the question.
I would hope that
there shouldn't be hope. That's the thing. That's why everybody wants to knock on Giroux, simply because there is no hope.
Well, you're right, but again, the best player doesn't have to be the captain. I mean, hell, Jason Smith was a captain here for a season. It's the person who provides leadership. It's the person who can be relied upon to go to in a moment and either rally the team or get their heads right or whatever. There's a lot of different ways a captain can really help a squad, and more so in hockey than any other sport, really. So I would hope, and I'll say hope again, I would hope that G is still that person, because if he's not, then maybe we do need to get somebody in there.
That's, again, that goes back to what you were saying about people hating on G. It's because it hasn't been proven. It hasn't been shown.
Well, I mean, we're never going to know this, obviously. So I'm not advocating for Giroux to lose the C. I'm just saying, if that is the case, if the leadership is not being shown, if the guys in the locker room aren't willing to go into battle with G and follow him to the ends of the earth, then yeah, as an organization, they need to figure that out, because they literally just got a whole bunch of people that have been captains in this league on the squad now throughout this offseason. And there's plenty of candidates that are currently on the squad as well.
Yeah.
So, again, I'm not saying that Giroux, I'm not even thinking it. I'm just saying, if that is the case, if the players in the locker room feel that way, yes, that's one thing. But fans, media, trying to kind of drive that narrative, that's bullshit. We don't know. We're not in there. Hell, the media isn't even in there anymore. So
my honest belief is that the leadership has Giroux's back simply because of his stats and his tenure, and that's the reason why he's captain.
Okay.
Again, we're not there. I don't know, but that's my belief.
So, okay. So we get Ellis from Nashville. We get Ristolainen from Buffalo. We just signed Yandel. That's three major, names defensively. We trade Voracek for Atkinson. We're shedding some salary. We trade Ghost Bear for a bag of peanuts to get rid of his salary. Actually, we traded Ghost Bear and picks for that bag of peanuts.
Sucks.
Yeah, it absolutely sucks. For somebody who I think not only was a fan favorite, not only did we see that 1 year of just out, I mean, really, that's all it was. It was a year.
That's why I disagree with the whole fan favorite thing. I don't think he's as much of a fan.
He was. He was after that first year. He came out. He balled out. We're like, oh snap! We got this guy up the trash heap. It didn't cost us nothing to get Ghost Bear.
Yep.
And so he comes in. He performs. We're like, oh snap! Young defenseman. Woo! This is great. People loved Ghost Bear.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then he stopped performing. Whether it was a mental thing, whether it was an injury, whether he just played lights out for that year. But you can't tell me that most people were fans of Ghost Bear. Oh. And now, as you continue to kind of inconsistently suck, people were still trying to hold on to that year. And maybe he'll get that back. Maybe. But after last year, we kind of saw the writing on the wall. We released him. Nobody picked him up. In fact, we couldn't even trade him for anything. We had to literally give out a second-round pick and then some just to get rid of him. And it's not like he was making $10 million a year. He was making like $4 million.
Yeah.
So it goes to show you that there is literally not a lot going on, But yes, I can.
Okay. 1 second. I'll be right back.
Oh, yeah. Go for it, bro.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. We're just going to...
Gotta move my...
What are we going to do here? Can we do this? No. We're going to do that. I'm going to be both people now. I'm going to be both people. Same name. All right, well, while Ryan, I guess, does his thing, I wanted to continue the Flyers talk because I'm very excited the fact that this team is getting shooken up, and it clearly needed it. Now, I am glad what they did on the defensive side of the ice, but now we need to start focusing on the offense. Voracek for Atkinson is a step down offensively. It just is. But having, a little cap space with all of the moves we've made so far is very helpful. So, hopefully, not only with that cap space, maybe we can go out and get, somebody offensively. Maybe we can go out and trade for someone. Obviously, Tarasenko from St. Louis was thrown out, especially during the expansion draft, as Flyers as a possible destination, as he's looking to get traded. So, and he was left unprotected, and the Kraken still didn't want him. Again, I can assume salary-wise was probably and also they didn't want anybody with any big salary. In fact, the Kraken was like, yeah, let's have the lowest salary we could possibly want. So yeah, they passed on Carey Price, passed on a lot of decent people, and money talks. So now that we have a little bit of money to play with, hopefully we can get at least a top sixer to help with everything. I would love somebody that's just a pure sniper. Because we seem to have a lot of facilitators, a lot of playmakers, people that are really good with, setting up plays, but we don't really have that guy that can just absolutely, from anywhere, just snipe. So let's go ahead and bring Rye back on in. I'll move back over. What's up, buddy? No doubt. So I was just talking about the need for a scorer, a sniper, if you will, for the Fly Guys.
The gifted score.
And listen, I mean, they fixed the defense. Let's fix the offense now. Let's go out and get that splash because you took a step down with Atkinson from Voracek offensively. Just again, stats wise, numbers wise, 1000%, yes. So you need somebody to come in here and just be a sniper because you have plenty of dudes that can set up men. I mean, Giroux would probably rather pass the ball than shoot, pass the puck than shoot. So, we have a lot of those guys that love setting stuff up, but we don't have a lot of finishers. And that was our problem a lot of times is we'd go in these droughts and couldn't score to save our life.
Yeah. I mean, somebody that can really be at that point position and rip the puck in, especially on power plays. I mean, the way that the Flyers struggle on a power play is atrocious. And it's well documented throughout, a long time. It's been quite some time between the last we had a great power play.
Yeah.
And it's been embarrassing. So obviously finding that gem, that guy that can step up and, like you said, snipe it. Even somebody that is, capable of reading the defense and being able to get that puck in front of the net, even for somebody to tip it in.
Yeah.
Somebody just slap that puck down or tip the puck up, however it works in that specific situation. We need somebody who can read the defense and then also
bang in front of the goalie.
Yeah.
We haven't had somebody like that since Wayne Simmons.
So I believe that we have the talent to bang in front of the goalie. I don't believe we have the talent to be the facilitator / sniper, because not only is a sniper the guy that's shooting the puck from,
wherever
that blue line or
from the top of the point.
Yeah, one of the top circles. But to be able to read the D, to be able to pass it into that spot or slap it into a position where somebody can deflect it in. And that's been a missing piece for quite some time as well. Like if the last person you're mentioning is Wayne Simmons, that's what, 4 years removed now?
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So it's obviously a missing piece. And, the sniper is not just the shooter. He is the guy, the rink vision. We say court vision for a point guard. It's rink vision for a sniper.
Ice vision? No, that sounds more like an X-Men power. I have ice vision.
No, it's rink vision. I mean, playing a rink. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but you play on the ice. You play on a court. You play on the ice. You don't play on the rink. You play in the rink.
Rink.
The rink is akin to more of the stadium or the park or the.
No, it's not. A stadium is made up of basically the seat side, like the seat.
Well, then there is no equivalent. Then, if that's what you're going with, you play on the court, you play on the ice, you play at the rink.
Any backyard hockey player, a rink is a rink, whether there's seats or not. It's a rink.
I'm not talking about the seats here. I'm talking about the structure.
Yes, it is a hockey rink.
Right. And what's on the rink? Ice. And we've been getting into some dumb arguments today.
Yeah. Anyway. Semantics.
All right. Well, we'll move on. We'll move on, and I want to talk before we get out of here. I want to talk a little Phillies. Last night, super exciting 3-run bomb by McCutchen.
Watched it.
Yeah, dude. By the way, McCutch. Let me just excuse me. Let me just tell you how great McCutchen's been recently.
Well, tell the people. I know.
Well, I think a lot of people know, but
50 RBIs.
Where is it? Oh yeah. Okay. So since June 1st, Andrew McCutchen is slashing a cool 283 slash 404 slash 580 with a 984 OPS, 11 home runs, 29 strikeouts to 28 walks since June 1st. So basically almost shy of 2 months. Dude's been playing great for somebody that we really didn't think was, was more on the downside of the decline.
Who said we? You said we? I'm not we.
I mean, there's a lot of we.
I'm not part of that we.
I'm not saying I'm we, but I'm just saying there is a we. There's a them. They have been saying that. Maybe I should say that.
Right now, that somebody that earns the MVP in baseball is different than somebody that earned the MVP in football or basketball, because you usually know who's going to get the MVP in basketball. Usually know who's going to get the MVP in football. In baseball, there are literally 9 different positions in which you will be able to, down to. I mean, we've seen shortstops, we've seen outfielders, we've seen pitchers, we've seen catchers. I mean, it's a sport.
We've never seen a relief pitcher, have we?
Mo's never got it?
I don't think so.
I mean, it's rare just because of the sample size, I
guess. Right, it's just not involved enough. You don't make that big of an impact.
But it is a huge.
I'm not saying it's not a huge impact. It is, but I'm just saying for MVP.
Yes, you're right.
Moving on. Semantics.
So
continue.
Basically, what I'm trying to say is somebody who, won the league MVP or the NL MVP at that time, I believe
it was,
is never going to run out of the skills.
Well, sure. No one's saying that, but the time is undefeated.
Everybody was saying with his age, with the production, with what happened, in the past few years, and I get it. But it's not a surprise, personally, to me, simply because he has that skill set. He is that type of guy that can go on tears and can have a full year in which he is just consistent, and that's what the Phillies need. And it's somebody like Gene Segura, who is also on a tear right now. He's on an 8-game. I don't know about today. They're playing right now. I haven't seen if he got a hit yet, but he's on an 8-game hit streak. He's batting .312, which is great. For anybody who doesn't know baseball, that's fantastic.
Yes.
And that's across the year, not like in a June to today sample size.
Right.
Throughout the year, he's batting .312.
He does have a hit today already.
Well, that's a 9-game hit streak.
It is the end of the first. It's already 3-1.
Yeah. I am watching the game. I just didn't see if he got a hit.
Yeah.
I mean, and then even Bryce. Bryce is hitting at a very, very
right. And he I think the forever knock on Bryce will always be the lofty expectations by the media, by the fans, whatever. Somebody coming in making that contract, 13 years, 300+ million. Oh, we want MVP Bryce every year. And listen, I still think that Bryce Harper is still one of the better, players in this game. He does a lot of the little things that you're not going to see every day. The more of the detailed stats. And I think people, casual fans, will just look at batting average, home runs, RBIs, And he does a lot more than just that. He gets on base. And he gets on base in a timely manner. He's been kind of put in a position lineup-wise where he's not really getting a lot of help to drive in those runs. But when he is, the batting average shoots up about 30 points, with runners on base and runners in scoring position. It's just, you start the year with 14 solo home runs. I mean, people are going to talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. But right now, what people aren't talking about is what you just said. Is the fact that he's on base quite often. mean, getting
time.
just singles, things like that. I don't care how you're doing overall. Technically, but if you're on base when Reis Hoskins hits a home run, then that's great. If you're on base when Andrew McCutchen hits the walk-off home run, that's 2 in one game.
Right.
I mean, just for last night's game alone, he got walked and was on base for both of the important home runs.
Right. And isn't he, and this was earlier in the week, he's one of 3 people in the history of baseball to steal second, steal third, and to steal home all in one game.
The steal home was that was awesome.
Yeah, I mean that alone, and then that kind of stuff that I love. But looking at his stats wise, he's batting at 289. He's a 277 career hitter.
Fantastic.
Yeah, his on-base percentage is almost at 400. It's 396. Career is 388.
Great.
Slugging 518. Career at 513. So an OPS obviously a 914 and career 901. So all of these numbers of a supposed all-star MVP caliber kind of player at all times is having better numbers than his career averages.
So what we need to boil that down to is he is now more of a role player than a main player.
Whoa. Well, I don't know about role player. I still think he is an all-star player.
How many RBIs does he have? 30-some?
Right, because nobody's on base when he's hitting home runs.
That's a role player.
No, that's just bad management.
That's not true, because if you put him in cleanup, the whole lineup changes.
I think you should have been batting him leadoff.
You think he should be batting leadoff?
Yeah.
I disagree completely.
Absolutely.
I think he's in the perfect spot at 3.
Obviously not. The man only has, 53 or 35 RBI.
But that's what I'm trying to explain to you, is that he is not the RBI machine.
Okay.
Batting cleanup would be the RBI machine, correct?
So you're basically saying that because of where he was put in the lineup is more indicative of him, not the fact that the manager doesn't seem to know where to put him?
I'm saying that he is thriving compared to what you gave me, the stats. He is thriving in that 3 right now. He's getting on base. That's what he did.
Right. But isn't that...
That's the responsibility of the other players to drive him in.
Okay. I guess we'll agree to disagree, man, because I personally think I'd move him up in the lineup.
How many home runs does he have total?
15.
Okay. Well, I mean, in the Phillies, that might be tops. In the league, that's not even close.
It's not. Reis's tops are like 22, I think.
I said that might be tops.
Well, I'm telling you, it's not.
No, tops is like 1 through 3. That's tops. I didn't say the top because I know who is the top. That's Reis Hoskins.
Okay. All right. So maybe
also, by the way, could hit 100 RBIs if you take it mathematically.
Sure. Okay.
But
I'm just saying
that he is in the right spot. JT Realmuto is the guy that should be batting cleanup. No?
I personally would like Realmuto. Yeah. I mean, I like him in the 4. I could see him in the 3 as well.
Who's batting 4 if he's in the 3?
I think Reis Hoskins should be batting 4th.
And you're putting Bryce at the top.
I'd put Bryce at 2 or 1. Yeah.
But who's at 1 right now? Tell me right there.
Is it McCutchen? No, it's
I believe it's Segura.
Segura. Okay.
Who is batting fantastic. So
he's doing a decent job.
Like, you have to break this down on a statistical basis, right?
I mean, yes and no. Yes. I mean,
Yes and no. Yes means yes. So you break it down. You put your best hitter in the one spot. You got the best average in your one spot. The two is a consistent hitter, right?
you would like to think so. Yes.
That's Bryce Harper. That's a guy who's getting on
Like
base.
I said, I also said he'd be fine in the number 2 spot.
Oh my goodness! All right, yeah, that's enough. Like, we can go on and on all
Did I
night.
not say that, or did you not hear me? I said
No,
he needs to
I
move
heard
up.
it, but you also started saying that you want him leading off.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
I wouldn't. That's my whole argument. I would not.
Okay. Well, considering that the Phillies' offensive numbers are piss poor, you might want to switch things up there, Joey.
But how long
Do you not see the talent on this team? Offensively, the talent on this team is amazing. So why are they scoring runs? Why are they scoring runs? Is it because people are put in incorrect spots in the lineup? Is it because that Joe Girardi is overhyped as a manager and really doesn't know what he's doing? He's not been a very good manager this year. And I try to tell me that he has been. Try it.
I'm not going to.
All right. So
But
because knowing that Joey hasn't been doing well, and you have all the talent in the world for this offense to be productive, but yet it's not. So what do you think the problem is? Perhaps it's Joe who isn't putting people in the right spots.
But how long have we had the lineup that we have now?
Oh,
a couple weeks.
Yeah, but that's mostly because of injuries and people in and out.
But things are working out as of late. So why wouldn't he stick with it?
You're absolutely right. This move should have been done a long ass time ago when Segura wasn't batting that well and McCutchen was playing like dog shit when he was leading off.
Well, McCutchen, I mean,
that's when you should have done it.
That was a tough call because McCutchen is a great leadoff hitter.
Normally, you're right.
He reminds me a lot of Jimmy Rollins. The way that Jimmy hit in that leadoff spot, I loved it. But I mean, like, the way that he has the lineup right now, I really like it. I just think JT can bat.
Listen, I think it's working for now, and I really hope that it continues to lead to wins.
I don't think JT should be. What is he, second? I think in the lineup, in the batting lineup.
Yeah. What was it?
It's
right now. Segura, Realmuto, Harper, McCutchen is literally batting clean up. But again, he's been on fire. So I understand the thought process. Hoskins 5, Gregorius 6, Torreyes 7, and Abdul 8. And it's 6-1. Jesus, Matt Moore, you are dog shit.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm watching it right now. The exit velocity of that ball was 110 miles an hour, went 390.
So
it's awful.
Juan Soto and newly acquired Josh Bell, 3 RBIs each. Nice.
How do they get somebody like Josh Bell? Like,
I don't know. Just happens, right?
Yeah, I mean, and they have Albies as well. Good.
I mean, it's
not Albies. I'm sorry.
I don't know who you're talking about.
No.
Alcides Escobar.
Read the screen. They have Juan Soto, who's incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, there's another one. Almost jacked.
Yay.
But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that with Bryce Harper and with where he is in the lineup, I believe that it's perfect as of right now. I believe that you need to have JT bat and cleanup. This is just me. Again, my opinion. But JT batting cleanup because I honestly think that he is very comfortable in that cleanup position.
Sure.
I mean, and then you switch Kutch to the second, and then keep Segura at one, and then just roll with the rest. I mean, the bats that are hot are hot. Like Reis is batting well. JT's okay, but I believe he's again in the wrong position.
Yeah.
You have Segura batting excellent, and then you have Kutch, who's just been stepping his game up. So I honestly believe that he just Girardi needs to make a small adjustment, and then he can stick with this and roll with it. And then the Phillies themselves just need to get bullpen help. And I mean, what do we have? Like,
I mean, yeah, I mean, we went ahead and acquired Tyler Anderson from Pittsburgh for
lefty.
Lefty. Yep, for who are the two? Christian Hernandez and Abraham Gutierrez. But from what I'm understanding, is that deal is currently on hold due to one of the players, I believe, has not passed his physical or something of that nature. Obviously, this kind of all happened right before we went on that news that it went on hold. So I'm not 100% familiar as to the 100% reason why that it's on hold or what else, but we'll certainly update you, everyone. Just real quick, though, for those updates and breaking news and just general amazing Philly sports 444 info, please make sure that you are following us on Facebook at Philly Sports Alliance. You can just literally just type in Philly Sports Alliance. We'll pop up. We're also on Twitter at Philly Sports PSA. And we are also, Chris, Matt Moore stinks. You are correct, sir. I believe Chris just said he would trade Matt Moore for a signed photo of Chuck Finley. A photocopy of a signed photo of Chuck Finley.
Signed.
Not like authentically signed, but like copied. One of those recreate. Yeah. Right. So yes, please make sure you follow Philly Sports Alliance everywhere on social media for breaking news, updates, stuff like that. We're constantly putting out contents. We're constantly putting out live shows. In fact, if you're unfamiliar with our lineup, here we go right here. Monday, Football Smack Talk show at 6. Also on Monday, right after that show, the Diamond Club podcast, which, by the way, is the best Phillies podcast out there, bar none. You will not find a better Phillies podcast out there. Us here, Philly BroCast, every Tuesday at roughly around 6:30. We got a late start tonight. Wednesday, the Bald Eagle podcast, normally at 6 o'clock. Bald Eagle podcast, by the way, Sean Cressman, the Bald Eagle, during the season is absolutely a must listen. He breaks down drive by drive by drive, play by play. So even if you watch the game, if you haven't watched the game, you will absolutely love the information he provides. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I said he's fire.
He is fire. Mike Sports football show, NFL, college at 8 o'clock. Thursdays is our Flyers show, Tendies on Pattison, and wrapping up the week on Thursday, the tables, ladders, and chairs. We got a lineup shakeup for that show, the TLC podcast. Welcome T to the Philly Sports Alliance network of shows. So welcome T. Thank you very much, buddy, for helping us out and taking over with Eric on the TLC podcast. But yeah, that's it for us. We are going to pop on out of here. So thank you very much for everybody who popped in and commented and just kind of hung out with us. So we appreciate everybody on Twitter, on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, all the Facebook groups that we popped into. Appreciate the love and the support from you guys. As it's, it's a little hard sometimes when you're 4 for 4. There's a lot of very sports specific groups. So we appreciate you letting us hang out with you. Yeah, I don't know. Practice tomorrow. Eagle season officially starts. The first public practice on the 8th. followed very shortly by the first preseason game. We got football, people. It's coming. It's coming. I can't wait. Can't wait.
Can't wait.
Can't wait. So yeah, that's it for us. Appreciate everybody. Ryan, you got anything to add before we bro on out of here?
Just something that I have been inconsistent on is the trivia question, and I will hit you with it right now.
Oh boy.
Who?
Let me Google.
The last member of the Legion of Doom to play for the Flyers?
Well, it's not Lindros. It's got to be it's got to be it's not Renberg either. It's got to be Leclerc.
Final answer?
Leclerc.
Winner. Nicely done. That was kind of a layup, but I wanted to bring back the questionnaire with a layup, and I knew you'd get it. So nicely done.
All right. I'll stop dancing. All right, everybody, we are out of here. Thank you so much. Make sure that you give it a like, a follow, a share, comment, all that kind of crazy stuff. That really does mean a lot to us. Leave a rating, do whatever. Just show your love. You know, we're just here trying to entertain everybody. And really, we just want to talk sports with each other. We just figured you guys might like to listen in. So appreciate it. Thank you very much. Love the support. We'll see you guys next week. We'll have lots of training camp to talk about. I can't wait. Oh, yeah, can't wait. So, yeah, that's it. We'll see you guys next week. So, for the Philly BroCast, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Ryan. Good night, bros.
Later, bro. Peace out. Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.